I've kind of gotten to the point where I can feel the CRPS burn, like in specific parts of my foot. And if I like look at my foot, I feel like I could feel it moving around, and that's not fun. Not enjoying what my CRPS is doing right now. Hi everybody, it's Katie, and today I'm going to be talking to you about a book that you may recognize from the movie. The book that we are going to be talking about today is Who Censored Roger Rabbit? If you're looking at me like I don't recognize that, this is the book that inspired the Disney movie Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. A summary that I could do as best as I can without going into any spoilers is Roger Rabbit, a toon, goes to Eddie Valiant, a human PI who has a strict policy about not taking toon cases unless they make a pretty good plea, aka fork out a lot of money. And Roger Rabbit does just that. He gives Eddie Valiant weeks worth of pay for 3 days work in order to try to find why Roger's contract is being held and not being sold off when he feels like he could do better under different contractors. Eddie Valiant takes on the case, starts digging, and not just stumbles onto one homicide, but two. And I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads, simply because part of it just seems so, I mean, I understand that this is a toon human crossover book, but it was just a little outlandish. That's all I could say without spoiling this book for you. Oh my gosh! So this book, Roger dies. Like, by chapter 12, Roger Rabbit is dead. And that is the second homicide that's going on. The first homicide is Rocco DeGreasy, which is one of the brothers holding on to the Roger Rabbit's contract. So now that Roger's dead, Eddie Valiant thinks that his work is done, but instead he comes across none other than Roger Rabbit in his office. In this world, toons can create doppelgangers of themselves while they are living, and with enough brain power can make them last a long period of time, up to 48 hours. And that is exactly who Eddie Valiant finds in his office, is one of Roger Rabbit's doppelgangers. So the two pair up and they are trying to figure out not only who killed Roger Rabbit, but who killed Rocco DeGreasy. And really, that Rocco DeGreasy was killed by Roger Rabbit. So now you're trying to figure out who killed Roger Rabbit. And throughout this whole time, the one weird thing that is happening during this investigation is that everyone seems obsessed with Roger Rabbit's tea kettle. And this is where it kind of got a little iffy for me. It got a little, like, okay. So everyone is looking for Roger Rabbit's tea kettle. Jessica Rabbit is looking for Roger Rabbit's tea kettle. The other DeGreasy brother is looking for Roger Rabbit's tea kettle. Everyone that is interviewed by Eddie Valiant is looking for Roger Rabbit's tea kettle. Everyone wants the tea kettle. So that means that there is something up with this tea kettle. This is definitely not a book for children. And I can see why Disney made all of the changes that they did. Because having the mental visual of Jessica Rabbit in a porn magazine, definitely, like, a lot of weird aspects of this that just kind of blew my mind. But basically, the tea kettle was not just an ordinary tea kettle. This tea kettle was a magic lamp. A magic lamp that only toons could activate. And it was the genie in that magic lamp that killed Roger Rabbit. And then almost killed Eddie Valiant. And then to top it all off, Roger Rabbit was trying to frame Eddie Valiant for Rocco DeGracie's murder. And you find, and like at the end, like Roger Rabbit isn't Roger Rabbit. Roger Rabbit is like this sick, twisted mofo. That's the best way that I could describe this, it was weird. The thing that I also found kind of interesting on top of the doppelgangers was that in this universe, Toons, when they spoke, they didn't actually speak, but they had those thought bubbles that you get in the comic strips pop up, and you had to read what was being said in the thought bubble. And that was kind of cool. But the problem is with these thought bubbles is that they just kind of hang around. They don't disintegrate over time, they just kind of hang around. And that is one of the main complaints of the humans that are coexisting with the Toons is that you walk and then you end up walking through someone's discarded conversation because they can't be bothered to pick up their own conversation. There was a lot of racism in this book. Or Toonism, I guess you could call it, in this book. But they had, you know, bars that only would serve humans, or bars that would only serve Toons. There were a couple, like, few random bars that would serve both Toon and human. Toons were not allowed to buy alcohol. Toons were not allowed to do things with humans. Toons were not allowed to be in relationships with humans. And it was just a lot of... even the police force, there was a Toon division and then there was a human division in the same department. It was very segregated. Like, I understand that it was set in a time period where that was acceptable, but it still rubbed me the wrong way, as it should. I am a little bit scarred because of this book. It scarred me a bit. From my understanding, once Who Framed Roger Rabbit was made, Gary Wolfe then went back and he rewrote Who Censored Roger Rabbit to Who Plugged Roger Rabbit and had it more fitting towards the movie. Same mystery, but more closer to like with the dip and stuff like that that appeared in the movie and did not appear in the book. I know that there was a third edition of this too, and it's Who Whacked Roger Rabbit, and I don't know the history behind that one. This is my review for Who Censored Roger Rabbit by Gary Wolfe. Follow me on all of my different social media. I'm on Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, and Goodreads. I also have a website and an email that you can contact me on as well if you so choose. All that information will be in the description box down below, as well as my service dog's Instagram, the little monster that's been causing havoc in my videos. She also has her own Instagram, and that will be in the description box down below. That is Eloise Service Adventures. Insert a creative outro here, and I will talk to you next time. Bye, guys!